Hi, welcome to our call this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. It always just warms my heart to see people show up and just give a little bit of their time. And it just really shows their commitment to their health, to nutrition. And I am excited to just for you because I know what's coming. We've got a couple people on this call tonight who are going to share their story. And right now, we are in a season that we need to be paying attention to our health, to our nutrition, and especially focusing on our immune system and not trying to boost our immune system, because that's then you kind of get into that autoimmune realm. But what we want to do is have an immune system that's functioning at tip-top shape. That's the goal. And the number one way to accomplish that is through our nutrition. So tonight you're going to hear from Paige Henry, who's going to share some health tips with us that will really help our immune systems function at an optimal level, optimal level, and then also tell her story. A lot of times we don't want to wait until our health is compromised before we start focusing on it. And Paige shares her journey of where she was with her health and then how she recovered her health. And it's a fabulous story. And then you're going to hear from Amy Baker and hear her health journey, as well as a little bit about a whole food concentrate called Juice Plus. And then I'll wrap us up talking about the research that supports this amazing whole food concentrate. So, Paige, would you take it away? We can't wait to hear your story.
Yes, absolutely. I'm super excited. So we are going to start us off with our health hack number one. We're going to talk about hydration, staying hydrated and how important that is. So staying hydrated helps your body to naturally eliminate toxins and other things that can cause illnesses, and it increases your absorption of vitamins and minerals from food, which is super important, and we'll talk more about that later. For me personally, I like to have a really big water jug that has little marks on it so I can see how much I've already had throughout the day and how much more I need to drink to make sure that I'm staying fully hydrated as possible. Next, I want to talk about sleep. Without sufficient sleep, your body makes fewer cytokines, which is a type of protein that targets infection and inflammation, effectively creating an immune response. Cytokines are both produced and released during sleep, causing a double whammy if you skimp out on shut-eye. A great tip that I have learned is to create a consistent bedtime routine. Just like you would create a routine to promote sleep in a baby, do the same for yourself. Something that really helps me is getting off that phone about 30 minutes to an hour prior to bedtime. Eliminating that screen time really helps me just fully relax and get a much better night's rest. Next, I want to talk about exercise. Even if it is just 30 minutes of brisk walking, it increases the production of natural killer cells, white blood cells, and other immune system markers that help your body to fight infection. Remember, the only bad workout is one that didn't happen. For me personally, I'm super competitive and I like to watch myself grow over time and continue to get better. So I run. I'm training for a 5K right now, and that's something that I can watch my time and my distance constantly improve. The best type of exercise is one that you will do. So find whatever works for you and whatever gets you excited to get up and get moving. Next, I want to talk about vitamin D exposure. There has been a lot of research lately on vitamin D and the immune system function. Vitamin D is critical for a well-functioning immune system. It's been studied and shown that a vitamin D deficiency makes you more susceptible to infection. Fun fact, did you know the only natural food source of vitamin D is mushrooms? If you're like me and you're not a big fan of mushrooms, don't worry. My favorite protein powder actually has mushrooms in it. It is delicious, and I promise you can't taste the mushrooms. Next, I want to talk about reducing stress. It is so important to reduce stress. when you're stressed, your body produces a hormone called corticosteroid, which suppresses the effectiveness of the immune system. Your body's ability to fight off antigens is greatly reduced when you're stressed. Antigens is a foreign substance in your body like chemicals, bacteria, or viruses. So it's a pretty big deal to reduce your stress. Next, I want to talk about maintaining a healthy diet. This is the most important thing that you can do to support a healthy immune system. We need a diet that's rich in fruits and vegetables and low in processed foods. Your immune system is actually housed in your gut. That's why it is so important that we feed our bodies well with nature's medicine, food, to fight off illnesses. I personally did not realize how important it was to maintain a healthy diet until I was faced with health issues. Back in 2018, my health started to decline. I was gaining weight nonstop, no matter what I did. I was constantly exhausted, no matter how much sleep I got. I had asthma. I was constantly sick. I mean, I couldn't go more than 2 weeks without missing work. And I work with children and I'm an actress. And so my health, it's vital to me, to my career, but also those around me. And I was 20 years old and taking 6 pills a day. Whenever I'd go to doctors, they would just keep throwing more and more pills at me. And so at this point, I just kind of gave up. I accepted this is my body, it's how I'm going to look and how I'm going to feel, and there's not really anything I can do about it at this point. Thankfully, my family didn't give up on me. And my aunt, who actually has Hashimoto's, noticed that I was showing symptom of an autoimmune disorder called Hashimoto's. That's an autoimmune disorder that has to do with your thyroid and lymph nodes. So in the beginning of 2019, I went and got tested, and sure enough, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's. It was confirmed that I had asthma, but I was also diagnosed as a pre-diabetic, like right on the brink of being a full-blown diabetic. And I think that one hit the hardest for me because that was a result purely out of what I had done to myself, what I had put into my body, and that was my own actions, and I couldn't blame anybody but me. So they told me, you have to make a change right here, right now. And I said, okay. So I started treatments for my Hashimoto's, but I also went on the AIP diet. So that's the autoimmune protocol diet. So basically, if you've heard of Whole30 or the paleo diet, it's like that, but much more restricting. I could eat meat, seafood, most fruits, certain veggies, and just a handful of spices, oils, and teas. So no carbs, no wheat, no dairy, no gluten, no processed foods of any kind, no sugar, no beans, no nightshades, no processed foods. So I went from having Pop-Tarts for breakfast and 3 Cokes a day just to get me through and a box of macaroni for dinner to complete whole clean eating. After 4 months of treatments and 4 months of doing this clean eating, I got tested again. And 4 months later, my Hashimoto's is now almost completely under control. I am no longer a pre-diabetic. I have lost almost 30 pounds. I have more energy than ever. I take 1 pill a day. I no longer have asthma. I don't even own an inhaler. I'm training for my first 5K. And I'm not constantly sick all the time anymore. In the beginning of 2019, right before I was diagnosed, I had the flu, and it took 4 days just for my fever to break. And I was sick and recovering for several weeks. At the end of 2019, once I had been through this journey, I had the flu again. And my fever lasted for 4 hours, and I was back at work within 48 hours. So through this, I learned 2 things. One, it matters what you put into your body. Who would have thought? But what you feed yourself, it's either going to help you or it's going to harm you. And that choice is yours to make. The second thing I learned is that this body is a gift and it's a temple, and it's my job to take care of it. And I want to take care of it not only for myself, but also for my future self. So when I heard about Juice Plus, it immediately made sense to me. how easily you can get that 7 to 13 servings of fruits and veggies every day. And especially because even when I was fully eating the AIP diet and mainly only eating fruits and veggies, I still wasn't getting that rainbow, and I still was not getting the full servings that I needed, which is crazy. So I'm going to pass this on to Amy Baker, who's going to tell you a little bit about her story and what Juice Plus is and why we're so excited about it.
Thanks, Paige. And wow, what a powerful story. Thank you so much for sharing that, Paige. Well, like Paige said, it's so important to get lots of fruits and vegetables every day. But the reality is that we just don't often get the recommended 7 to 13 fruits and vegetables a day. So 78% of Americans try to fill that gap with a multivitamin. But vitamins only have a few isolated nutrients, and studies show that vitamin supplements are not beneficial in improving health and can actually be harmful. You can overdose in a particular vitamin or mineral without even realizing it. So this slide here, I love this picture because it shows that an apple has approximately 10,000 phytonutrients and contains hundreds of carotenoids, flavonoids, minerals, antioxidants that are found in our food, but not in most supplements. And the thousands of vitamins and minerals in food work together synergistically to give our body what it needs in the proper amounts. I grew up in a family where I learned from an early age the importance of eating real whole food and lots of fruits and vegetables. And our family was eating organic before it was even popular like it is today. So 10 years ago, when my friend Elaine shared a whole food supplement with me called Juice Plus, that made so much sense to me because it actually is just food and not a vitamin. And as healthy as I was eating, I knew I still wasn't getting that 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. I was so grateful that I found this easy solution called Juice Plus. So Juice Plus is 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries in capsules or chewables. You can see the wide variety here on this slide. There's quite a few of these fruits and vegetables that I just wouldn't get apart from taking my Juice Plus, either because my family doesn't care for it, like beets, or it's hard to find. You're probably all familiar with the benefits of elderberry for immune health and the popularity of elderberry syrup. Well, our berry blend, the purple one on the right, the berry blend has elderberries in it, plus 10 other berries and plants. And I also love looking at this slide. Sorry, Elaine, go back. I also love looking at this slide because it gives me such a peace of mind as a mom to know that my kids are eating all of these fruits and vegetables every day. And my kids love eating fruits and vegetables. And I know that's because they've been taking Juice Plus their whole lives, even since I was pregnant with them. And there's something called metabolic programming, which just means whatever you put into your body is what your body's going to crave. And so, and that's one of the things I noticed over the past 10 years is that I crave eating more fruits, or I crave more fruits and vegetables, so I'm eating more fruits and vegetables. I've also noticed over the past 10 years an increase in my energy level. I get sick less often, same with my kids, compared to, they've had their whole lives, but compared to like their peers at school and stuff. I've also noticed great results with all my blood work, especially my iron during pregnancy. I remember my first pregnancy, my nurse called me after my blood work was done, and she was like, "Nothing's wrong with your blood work, but I just wanted to tell you that your iron level is perfect. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it." And at the time I was a vegan too, so I wasn't eating meat. And so all my blood work has been great. And I've also noticed 3 healthy pregnancies that I've had while taking Juice Plus. Next slide. Okay, so on this slide, we just want to again reiterate that it is food and not a multivitamin. It has a food label, just like you would find on the bag of broccoli in your freezer, not a supplement label. It is made with non-GMO ingredients. It's vegan, kosher, dairy, and gluten-free. It is NSF certified, which means that what is on the label is exactly what is inside of it, with no banned substances. And there's also NSF for sport certified capsules for professional athletes, which if professional athletes can take it, you know that it's pure and good. And it is the most researched brand name nutritional product in the world. You can ask Siri and she'll tell you. And with over 35 peer-reviewed published clinical studies. And I want to talk about the Omega blend a little bit. This is our newest blend in the past 3 years. And we hear a lot about the value of omegas for our heart, brain, joints, skin, eyes, ADD, depression, lots of other benefits. And Juice Plus has a 100% plant-based omega it's pure and sustainable with a full spectrum of omegas. It's cold pressed and it comes in a vegan capsule. And I also just wanted to add that even my kids take these. Now my kids are ages 3, 5, and 7, and it comes in a capsule, not in a chewable. But my little kids, they just love to just put it in their mouth, they bite on it, and then kind of chew on it and suck the liquid out. And then some of my kids will just swallow like the flattened capsule. And then some of my kids will just spit out the flattened capsule after they've sucked the liquid out. So it's totally safe for kids. It's great for kids. And even though it's not in a chewable, they can still chew it that way. And I want to talk about this program called Healthy Starts for Families, where a child ages 4 through college can receive the fruit and vegetable blends for free with an adult order. And this is available for families that agree to take Juice Plus consistently and complete occasional surveys. And you can see here the great results that have been reported from parents. And like, 60% are missing fewer days of school, 56% taking fewer over-the-counter and or prescription drugs, 71% were drinking more water, 66% were visiting the doctor less, 71% were consuming less fast food and soft drinks, and 61% were eating more fruits and vegetables. Those are some amazing results. And in addition to this real-life study, the Juice Plus capsules have been researched by leading hospitals and universities around the world. And so now I'm going to turn it over to Elaine, and she's going to tell you more about the research.
Thank you so much, Amy, just for sharing your story and YouTube page. I just love it. Gets me excited hearing the power of whole food nutrition and the impact that it can have on our bodies, totally change the trajectory of our life. One of the things for me personally that gave me peace of mind as a mom was when I was taking a look at the Juice Plus whole food concentrate, because I knew we were not getting the nutrition that we needed. We were trying to juice. Has anybody ever tried to juice before? The Masons were not very good at it. We started out good for about 2 weeks, and then it just went away. But yet I knew how much we needed it. And I would have said we were an average family, but I remember Dr. Pam Popper saying, who wants to be average in a sick society? And the things we were experiencing as a family would appear to be normal, but they were not what we should be experiencing. And my youngest would get sick every probably 3 or 4 weeks from preschool. She'd have to miss preschool. My husband was eating Rolaids like they were going out of style. And I was ready to hit the couch at 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night when I put my girls to bed. Those are probably normal, but they really indicate that we were not on a good path in regard to our health. And so when we learned about Juice Plus, I was like, wow, I think this is what we need. But then when I saw the research that backed this amazing product, it gave me as a mom peace of mind that, okay, this is something we need to do. And I was excited when I saw it. If you look across the top of this page, what you'll see is the gold standard method. So what the gold standard means is that, and this is what Juice Plus, the research on Juice Plus is gold standard research, meaning that it's randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled, tested on the product itself. A lot of times you'll hear other products quoting a research maybe that was done on broccoli. And then because maybe their product might have broccoli in it, they, what's called structure function, using that research and claiming it on their product itself. Juice Plus does not do that. The good thing is, because Juice Plus is packed full of nutrition, you know, we want people to actually experience it and see the power of this whole food concentrate in their bodies. So it's tested on the actual product itself, and it's done on human clinical trials. I'm reading a book called How Not to Die, and it's talking about just the power of whole food nutrition. But in it, it was talking about a research study, not a research study done on Juice Plus, but they had done it on rats. And it went into detail saying, you know, you can do an animal study, but it doesn't have, you can't claim that same study in a human body. And I love the fact that we test our product on human beings, and we know the outcome is going to be fantastic because it's whole food nutrition. Taking it up a step, because of the research that's been done on Juice Plus, we're actually published in peer-reviewed journals, which is huge because it's not going to get published if the research isn't significant. And then it's always done in an ethical format. I remember years ago, I spoke with Dr. John Morey, who was our chief chemist on staff. And I just said, how do we get, you know, where do all these great research centers and medical centers, how do we get them to do research on Juice Plus? And he just smiled at me and he said, we don't do anything. He said, what happens is we get between 15 and 20 requests a month of people wanting to research Juice Plus. And he said, because of the significant body of research that we had back then, they wanted to research it more and look at where we are today. We're up to 40 plus peer-reviewed medical studies done on Juice Plus. And if I could draw your attention to the second to the last line there, Wake Forest University. That study is on head and neck cancer patients. And if you look and see NIH, National Institutes of Health, to my knowledge, it's the first and only research study that's done on a nutraceutical that's been being paid by the federal government. That says a lot for just if you look at the quality of research centers that are researching Juice Plus and the impact that's having, and it's attracting more and more people to the point now Juice Plus says, okay, we're only going to partner with just the upper echelon of research centers, and we are always going to require that it's done in the gold standard method. And to me, the more I learned about the research on Juice Plus, the more excited I became. Tonight, since we're talking about the immune study, we're going to pull out 4 of those studies that focus on the immune system. The first study we're going to talk about is at the University of Arizona on integrative medicine. It was published in Integrative Medicine. And one thing I love about these 4 studies, it's such a broad population of people that we're taking a look at. So first and foremost, it's on the elderly population. And as you know, when you, as we age, our immune function declines. If you remember, I said in the beginning, we're not looking to boost our immune system. We're looking to support our immune system in a way that it functions at tip-top capacity. So as we age, that immune function begins to decline. So what they wanted to see is if we introduce all this whole food nutrition to an elderly population, you know, they're kind of anticipating not seeing a huge result in shift in their health. but I'm excited to say that the Juice Plus caused a twofold increase in their antioxidant levels. And so what we know is our body's getting hit with oxidation, and that's just aging, disease, and ultimately death. And to know that the antioxidants have increased twofold in their body was huge in this elderly population. Then they looked at all the immune functions, and every single one of them had enhanced functionality because of adding Juice Plus to their diets. Now, looking at the second study is the University of Florida in the Journal of Nutrition. And in the Journal of Nutrition, the study was on law students. And the law students, who more is going to have to deal with stress than somebody that's in law school? And what we know when we're under stress, what happens is our bodies, that's when we're most susceptible of getting sick. And so what they did was take a look at and said, okay, we're going to put these stressed out law students on Juice Plus and find out what kind of impact it's going to have on them. Well, what they found out is a 30% increase in T cells. So what the T cells do, if you're not familiar with them, if we have more active T cells in our body, they are out there scavengers looking for cells that have cancer cells. They're looking for cells that are infected with viruses and bacteria. And they're also looking for damaged cells so that they can kill them, destroy them, and get rid of them. That's huge when you're thinking about, you're wanting to really protect your immune system, to have those T cells going to bat for you, doing their job the way that they need to. The next thing they discovered was a 40% reduction in DNA damage. And so that's just telling me, bottom line, which is what I want to hear, it's slowing that aging process down by 40%. That's huge. And then lastly, it had a significant increase in their vitamin C, their carotene, lycopene, and lutein. All of those phytonutrients were increased in their body, fighting for them, protecting their health when they're under this stress. The third study is the Medical University of Graz in Austria, and this was published in the Journal of Nutrition. And now we're taking a whole group of people, the Police Special Forces Unit. Now, these people are not only mentally stressed and emotionally stressed, and they're physically stressed. So we really have some stressed athletes in this police force. And why they did this study was because they kept getting sick and they were missing days of work. And they're like, would Juice Plus have an impact on reducing their sick days, reducing the people who even get sick, reducing their symptoms, and how long their illness would last? And the answer is absolutely. What they had was reduced lost days of work because of illness, reduced oxidation. So we're back to that, the inflammation going on in their body because of all this stress. It's been reduced now because of adding Juice Plus to your body, which is exactly what we want to happen. And then lastly, the fourth study was done at Charité University Medical Center in Berlin, Germany. This was published in the British Journal of Nutrition, and now we're dealing with a group of people, a nursing staff. So imagine what they are under and what they are exposed to. So they thought, let's start easy. On a common cold, can we have an impact on the nursing staff? Because I'm sure if they're sick, they're not wanting them to be sick around patients who are very susceptible, or vice versa. And so the nursing staff, they put them on Juice Plus. In over an 80-day time frame, what they discovered was a 20% reduction in both those getting colds, those their severity, and the length of time their colds lasted. And so what we're seeing is a direct result to their immune system getting the support that they need. When our body has those working blocks, that nutrition going into our system day in and day out, what it does is it provides us with an immune system that functions like it needs to function. And consequently, we're seeing a different, and we're in our health and seeing the dial moved on our health on this journey to better health. Recently, I heard Dr. Mitra Ray speak, and she talked about in her speech about this word called plasticity, and I'd never heard it before. And it's the ability for our immune system to see a bacteria or a virus that it's never seen before and come up with a defense strategy to be able to attack it and remove it and get it out of our system. That's huge. And what allows our immune system to function properly and have this plasticity is directly correlated to the nutrition going into our bodies day in and day out. And just another illustration of the power of whole food nutrition, the power of this Juice Plus concentrate and action within our body. And so when we think about our nutrition, to wrap things up, really essentially there are three things we want. We want quality nutrition, and that's the beautiful thing about Juice Plus is we wait till the fruits and vegetables are at the peak of ripeness, that last week of growing season, and when all the nutrients are in the fruit or the vegetable. If we're waiting to get it from our produce from the market, from our grocery stores, typically they've been shipped clear across the country and been picked 2 weeks early. So the value of having nutrition from a quality standpoint is huge. The next thing is quantity. You saw Amy share that's close to 30 raw fruits and vegetables. That is a lot of nutrition going in your body every day. I can assure you, we don't, as a family, don't eat 30 raw fruits and vegetables. If it weren't for Juice Plus, there's no way we'd get that quantity of fruits and vegetables in our bodies. And then lastly, the variety. If you remember the colors on that page that she showed, amazing. I love Dr. Smokey Scintilla, the inventor of Juice Plus. When he came up with what he was the fruits and vegetables he was going to put into the Juice Plus blends, he took in consideration the organs in our body, the systems in our body, and they need that wide variety of color because different organs and systems really respond to the different colors of our fruits, vegetables, and berries. And I always thought that was fascinating when I read that. And so that's what you're getting. You're getting that added layer of insurance, that added layer of security that your family's getting the nutrition that they need to really, now more than ever, we need to be on the lookout, being proactive when it comes to our immune system. And so to close tonight, I want to invite you to first and foremost, at a minimum, I want to invite you to really think about adding this whole food concentrate to your diet and your family's diet. I'm here to say, as a mom who has been on Juice Plus for 20 years, and I have a 23-year-old and a 21-year-old who've had it almost every day of their life, it brings a whole lot of security to me as a mom, knowing they're getting the nutrition they need. So maybe you're sitting here tonight and you're like, okay, let's do this thing. Let's take our nutrition to the next level. We're excited and we want to make sure that you get back with the person who invited you so they can show you exactly how you can add Juice Plus to your diet. Or maybe you're sitting there saying, okay, not only do I need it, my kids need it, my mom and dad need it, my aunt, my sister, and you're starting to hear people's names rolling around in your head. We invite you to become a partner. And the good thing about becoming a Juice Plus partner, there are no requirements, quotas, nothing like that. You do share as you feel the freedom to share. And we are going to cheer you on because that's our goal, is to see as many people as we can we want to have an impact on their health journey. But you also may be sitting there saying, you know what? I think I would like to join you on this mission. And we would be so excited to have you join us, because there are a lot of people out there looking for an answer. They know they need something, but they're not quite sure. And they're kind of at, at the grocery store, at the Walmart or somewhere, and they're just kind of grabbing and pulling, thinking, I know I need something, but I don't know what I need. The exciting thing is we need to have people helping us get this message out. And so I feel like this product, Judy Blue, 20 years ago, gave me an enormous gift. And as I get older and I hear of different people struggling with different health issues, I am forever grateful that Judy Blue shared this amazing gift with me. And so we're looking for people who want to be on this mission, sharing this gift of knowledge, education, nutrition with people. So we invite you to take a look at this mission with us. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Please get back to the person who invited you tonight. And we are excited about the impact in the community of health-minded people. And we want to invite you to be a part of it with us. Thanks for being on the call.